Okay, hi you guys, I'm back. I've never done 2 in one day before, but I wanted to have these separate on Instagram. I just was on here talking about my command center and how it works for my family and how we reset it in the summer, my action basket, and then the different files that I use for my family. So I know it's not super exciting stuff, but I've been getting a lot of questions about it. I'm glad you guys are joining again. So I want to show you what I do for my kids' files, and I know this is not going to be the most popular approach, but I have a few feelings on it. So I know I don't know if it's trendy, but a lot of people have like a big bin with the hanging files for each year of their kids throughout the school year. And that's fine. That's what my mom did for me when I was a kid. I think it's great. My only issue with that is that that's for mom. It takes up a lot of room, and if you have 4 kids like me, that's a lot of space in a small old home. And it doesn't because they're in hanging files, it's not something that you're actually using. So I'll talk more about memory books later, but I used to be much better about keeping memory books and then chat books when Instagram became a thing. But I love putting all my memory books, scrapbooks, whatever they are, out in the open. Maybe I'll just show you now, because I think it's part of this whole discussion of why I do my kids' school papers the way I do. I actually have my memory books out, and you might ask, well, what do you do with scrapbooks from the 90s that were huge? Let me see if I can find one. I took my scrapbooks. Oh, they're not here. I'll have to show you. I took my scrapbooks from the 90s and I actually scanned them in so they could be put in a book this size. So I got rid of the old binder with all the die cuts, and I switched it over. And then my chat books I keep out here. My kids look at our chat books every single day. They are like a huge staple in our home. Now you're going to get to see my somewhat messy house. So as far as memories go, I want them to be accessible. I want them to be beautiful. I don't want binders sitting out of my house. But I want us to be able to enjoy them. If we're going to keep them, I want to enjoy them. So when I work in clients' homes who have like bin after bin after bin of keepsakes, I know that we have things that are meaningful to us, and I am a very sentimental person in some ways, but I think that within reason, I don't want to leave my kids with like 10 bins of memories and sentimental items, and so I try and keep things contained. Each of my kids get a memory bin that they keep in their room, so bigger physical items like old soccer jerseys, if there's one they really want to keep, they can keep it, but once that bin is full, we go through and we reminisce and we talk about the items and we get rid of the ones that aren't as meaningful, because things change through the years too. So that's my approach with like our family history, our scrapbook type things, chat books, and memory bins. And so my approach is somewhat similar with school papers. So throughout the year, we collect school papers in a magazine holder with files. Throughout the year, we put in our papers that we need. At the end of the school year, we pull it out. I can just show you what we do. So kids file, if we were to pull it out, I pulled Hadley's out earlier. This is Hadley's. What we'll do today is we're going to go through it. And so this is a report card. This is end of year report card. So we'll keep this one, but we'll find report cards from first and second term, which we won't need to keep because they build on each other. And here are 2 programs from her singing recital. We don't need 2, we only need 1. We'll go through and I'll just talk with her. These are her school papers that she collected through the year. If she thinks that they are important or helpful, and she wants to keep them, then we put them in a pile. This was something she was using throughout the year. I'll have to ask her if she's still going to use it this summer. If so, we'll keep it in this folder because she'll be using it. But if it's a memory, it will go here. That is looking like that is old homework that she never did. So that will go in the garbage. Anyway, it's pretty cut and dry, but to figure out like what items we're going to be throwing away, and what items she might still want access to. If she wants access to anything, it will stay in this folder. So once we have our pile of things that we're going to keep for this year, I just brought them up. These are binders that I made for my kids, and I have them downstairs in my office closet. And I made these cute labels. Let me see. We are live, so I didn't get organized ahead of time. So they're really nothing fancy. So we'll take James's. So he has his label, he has his picture, and sometimes he's throwing things in here. So this is a little messy on top. But each year I have them fill out their first day of preschool. This is how I write my name. It's pretty cute. And he gets to fill in information. Preschool, obviously, it was with me. And then I just add a little tab. Everything's in slip covers. And then at the end of the year, and then I do a little picture, we talk about what pages were meant the most to him. Now, a lot, preschoolers end up with a lot of things. So through the years, if there are things that are less significant to him, then maybe we will pare down, edit down. But I think just keeping a few items for each school year that are representative of who that child is that year, what his interests are, what his handwriting looks like. I think that's fun to see. See this one? He filled out more of the things, and then I helped him at the end. School picture. And I know it's going to get full, and maybe I will backpedal and each kid will end up with 2 binders. But my goal is to have my kids just have 1 binder each, because when it's time to go away to college or get married, I don't want to just present them with a huge box or a pile of binders or pile of anything with all of their stuff in it. I think that this is sufficient. And why I also think this is really fun. Oh, do I have a printable for the cute cover pages? I will look into it. I caught this years and years ago from some blog, and I know people have these all over. So I will find a cute one and I'll link it, and I think I've used different ones through the years too, because I just use whatever I can find. Anyway, I love this because instead of putting it in a hanging file, my kids now at the end of the year, so today we're going to go through James's stuff from 5th grade and we're going to add it. They reminisce. They look at it like it's a book, and it's so much fun because they can flip through the pages, and they have their memories, and it's really fun. So I would rather have something that is smaller and have fewer memories, and at least have them be memories that they can access, than have everything in a box that they're really never going to look at, and it's just going to be taking up space. So this was a big poster project that my son did in 2nd grade, it looks like, and it was really important to him. So we took it apart in pieces and put it in here so he could remember it. I don't know if he'll want to keep it in a few years, but at least it's here for now, and we can talk about it. I also, I do get a lot of questions about bigger art. For bigger art pieces, like this one, I guess we'll do this with it. This is Hadley's from this year. I most likely will just have her, I'll take a picture of her with it, holding it up. If it's meaningful to her and it doesn't fit in the binder, then I just take a picture of the child with the piece of art. And there are some really cool options out there for things like Archive, where you can scan in your kid's artwork and make a book out of it. And I love that idea. This has worked better for me because we have random things like soccer pictures and things that it's really nice just to have the flexibility to be able to flip things in, slide things in. One year, each year my kids make a calendar. I think it's in 3rd grade or 2nd grade, and it gets really bulky. 3rd grade. So I just had James choose the 1 month from the calendar that was his favorite. I just even noticed this year, I think it's James, he has a 5th grade portfolio. So I don't know how many of your kids that come home from school with an actual binder, but we'll go through this since we're not going to keep the whole binder, and he'll just get to choose a few things that are meaningful, that are show his creativity. So maybe we won't keep things that are just like coloring projects as a 5th grader like that. But things where he's writing and being creative, I love keeping those things, and just a few items from each year. So, oh, and look, they already did it for me. So we have one for 5th grade. But that's how I do it. I like the amount of space it takes up, but I also like that it creates an accessible way for my kids to reminisce on their school papers. And just like my closet, if you only have a certain number of hangers and you never buy more, just like this or their memory bin, I like to put a cap on the amount of space, because then it just forces you to determine what really is the most important. So that is how I do my kids' school papers. I know it's not how, I know different ways work for everyone. I would love to hear what you guys do. that's what I want to share, how to reset your kids' school papers for the year and keep them as memories. Let me know if you have any questions. I don't think a lot came in, but I'm glad you guys are here. And I'm just checking again. Yeah, I hope you guys have a great Friday, great weekend. Summer's here, but I like to tackle at least one of these small reset projects a day in the summer, Monday through Friday with my kids. They just know that they have a chore and then we have a reset space. So sometimes it's their room or a bathroom, and it's not even deep cleaning. Still need to get to that, but it's this type of stuff. Just sorting through, getting rid of the things that aren't serving us or that aren't intentionally placed in our home. So we just get it out so we can enjoy all the fun things for summer. So, okay, have a great Friday. See you guys.